both can't believe something and can believe it at the same time? That's what happened to me when I saw the comments from Mystics co-owner Sheila Johnson about Caitlin Clark on CNN. If you didn't see them, she essentially said, or she didn't essentially say, she said, why can't you put the whole of WNBA on the cover, not Caitlin?
Sheila Johnson, the owner of the Mystics, reveals a simmering feud behind the WNBA court's bright lights. Caitlin Clark of Target is exposing more serious divisions in the league that may endanger its survival. What is the core of this escalating dispute? It has taken the WNBA nearly 28 years to reach this point, and this year something clicked with the league thanks to the players that were drafted. It's not Caitlin Clark, though, it's Reese. We have so many players. Caitlin Clark's Athlete of the Year award was hailed as a significant milestone for women's sports, but not everyone was happy with the recognition.
It has taken the WNBA almost 28 years to get to the point where we are now. And this year, something clicked with the WNBA, and it's because of the draft of the players that came in. It's just not Caitlin Clark, it's Reese. We have so many.
9 When Elena Dion was a member of your team, Sheila Johnson, the owner of the Mystics and a prominent supporter of women's basketball, sparked controversy by proposing that the WNBA be highlighted rather than just one player by utilizing the Athlete of the Year award.
And respectfully to Sheila Johnson, who is the owner of the Washington Mystics, y'all haven't been relevant in 5 years. The last time y'all were relevant was in 2019 when Elena Della Don was on your team and helped y'all capture your first and only championship in franchise history. You should be the first person to be congratulated.
Her actions brought to light a broader conflict over how women's sports are portrayed in the media and the fight for exposure.
It is almost 2025, and the WNBA is still complaining about Caitlin Clark. A few days ago, the Washington Mystics owner, this woman right here, went on CNN and talked about, you can't just pin the league's success on Caitlin Clark. But little did she realize, 31% of her team's total attendance for the year was the 2 games that they played.
Caitlin Clark's explosive on-court performances, which combine talent, charisma, and fierce competition, have propelled her to stardom and drawn an expanding following base outside of collegiate basketball.
Owner Sheila Johnson goes on CNN and says that the entire WNBA should have been put on the cover of Time magazine. It is hard to get away from this conversation because it just keeps making national news. And to be frank, I've never seen a story in the WNBA get as much widespread coverage as this is getting.
Caitlin Clark's Athlete of the Year award was a significant event that demonstrated the increasing popularity of women's sports, but Sheila Johnson's reaction highlighted an alternative perspective that highlighted what she believes to be a structural problem: the persistent underappreciation of the WNBA overall, with the league's collective accomplishments often being overlooked.
There's been no player in my time of paying attention to women's basketball that has been more polarizing than Caitlin Clark. She was named Time's 2024 Athlete of the Year, which I think is well deserved for what she did in the college game and then bringing it to the WNBA.
Sheila Johnson clarified in her statement that her criticism was directed not only at Caitlin Clark, but also at the larger problem of representation in women's sports. This is about promoting a whole league that has worked arduously to acquire respect and recognition. Johnson clarified that her viewpoint struck a chord with many who believe Clark's accomplishments are indisputable, but the WNBA's combined efforts are often disregarded. Johnson wants to advocate for equal compensation and sponsorship for media coverage, which is why he is calling for attention to be directed toward the league as a whole. Although the WNBA has grown significantly, it still confronts structural issues, and Johnson's remarks were an appeal for the sector to put collective advancement ahead of individual recognition.
Athlete of the Year is Caitlin Clark, obviously.
Yeah,
Everyone was talking about Caitlin Clark. I mean, sales for, to watch games, WNBA games, just increased and skyrocketed because of her.
That's right.
Sheila Johnson, the WNBA is more than just a basketball league. It is a representation of talent, tenacity, and the continuous struggle for gender equality in sports. She feels that emphasizing the league's collective advancement rather than individual successes could change the narrative and fortify the movement, but not everyone agreed with her. Critics claimed that Caitlin Clark's achievements are essential in motivating the next generation and drawing in new followers. They also argued that Clark's moments of brilliance give women's basketball much-needed attention, which benefits the league as a whole. For many, Clark symbolizes the sport's bright future by emulating the success and recognition it has long desired.
Johnson. It's just not Caitlin Clark. It's Reese. We have so much talent out there that has been unrecognized, and I don't think we can pin it on just one player. I want to be very diplomatic about this, Johnson continued. It's just the structure of the way media plays out race. I'm going to be very honest. I feel really bad because I've seen so many players of color that are equally as talented, and they never got the recognition they should have. And I think that right now it is time for that to happen. So last night,
Sheila Johnson's remarks on CNN that minimized the Caitlin Clark effect may have been meant to draw attention to the WNBA's teamwork, but they unintentionally brought attention to the same effect she was trying to discount. Caitlin Clark, the sensational rookie from Iowa, is now well known outside of the basketball world. She is one of the most talked about athletes because of her captivating playing style, incredible long-range shooting, and unquestionable charisma. Johnson's assertion that no one player's impact propels the league's success is clearly refuted by her capacity to pack arenas, as seen when the Heat visited the Mystics. Clark's influence on and off the court serves as another evidence of the ability of individual stars to increase the visibility and appeal of women's sports.
They're human. I'm not surprised that we're seeing envy, but envy, a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. With Caitlin Clark, it's not at all luck. But what we're seeing, and not generalizing, not by every WNBA player, but by some.
Caitlin Clark's quick ascent to WNBA fame has enormous potential to increase the league's visibility and attract new fans who may not have previously been interested in women's basketball. The sold-out arena during the Mystics Fever matchup wasn't a one-time event. Rather, it demonstrated Clark's genuine appeal and made her a valuable asset for the league's future. This doesn't take away from the skill of the many other outstanding WNBA players whose commitment to advancing the sport has been invaluable. Rather, Clark's appeal presents a special chance to draw in casual fans and introduce them to the range of talent the league has to offer. Instead of undervaluing Clark's effect, the WNBA should embrace her fame and utilize it as a means of extending the league's reach. Sheila Johnson's critique runs the danger of offending this new generation of fans who are learning about the league because to Clark's influence. The Mystics Fever Game's record-breaking crowd is evidence that league expansion and individual star power can coexist to elevate the sport as a whole.
Watching her play, she's incredible. She's got range that you have to pick her up basically as soon as she crosses the half-court line because she's dangerous from everywhere. Like, you're watching shooting against her, like Caitlin Clark's going to be in that conversation here for years. Not like that girl can flat out shoot. So,
and she doesn't. And this is taking nothing away from the way women shoot a basketball, but her form looks more like a guy, where it's more of a pull up and a follow through rather than a push. And I honestly think that's one of the reasons she's so.
It has to embrace the vigor and passion that athletes like Caitlin Clark bring to the court in order to succeed. The packed stands at her team's arena speak for themselves, even if Sheila Johnson's rejection of the Clark effect may have been an effort to foster unity within the league. The league's future depends on embracing its top players as drivers for increased awareness of professional sports talent rather than disregarding them. Opinions and egos often diverge, and conflicts may be heightened by attention. This is clear from the current discussion that was started by Mystics owner Sheila Johnson's criticism of WNBA rookie Caitlin Clark. Notwithstanding, Clark admits that the league's accomplishments include highlighting the accomplishments of several other gifted players is not only her responsibility. Johnson sparked a stir by discounting Clark's impact. Many admirers feel that although Clark has continuously highlighted the teamwork that has led to the league's success, she has also acknowledged the tremendous talent, hard work, and dedication of her fellow players. There are so many amazing athletes in this league who contribute daily to making the WNBA what it is. Clark's dynamic play and charisma have contributed significantly to the recent surge in the WNBA's popularity, giving new life to a league that has struggled to capture mainstream attention. While Johnson's comments caused controversy, Clark said in a recent interview that she prioritizes her team-first approach, highlighting the constant conflict between individual fame and collective achievement in the WNBA's expansion. Balancing both would elevate the league.
Well, this is Jen Hatfield, your Washington Mystics beat reporter. The Mystics had an early tip-off today for Camp Day, which is when children from local summer camps get to attend and scream their hearts out. The Mystics drew 14,400 fans today, which is a record for any WNBA team this season, according to Across the Timeline. But without injured starters Elena Deladon, Shakira Austin, and Ariel Atkins, the Mystics suffered a somewhat disappointing loss to the Indiana Fever, and head coach Eric Thibault said post-game that the team just didn't have the right focus today coming in. But Thibault and the players alike appreciated the opportunity to perform in front of kids who are in the same position that they once were growing up watching the WNBA.
However, Sheila Johnson is not persuaded. The Mystics owner has intensified her criticism of Clark's excessive attention, claiming that it diminishes the contributions of other players and reinforces a narrative that unfairly prioritizes individual stardom over the league as a whole. According to Johnson, the WNBA's expansion has long been linked to a sense of unity and collective effort among players, owners, and fans, even though players like Clark unquestionably draw attention to the league. As the discussion goes on, Johnson feels there is a boundary between praising individual accomplishments and overshadowing the team-oriented culture that the league has worked so hard to foster. Although there is no denying Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA, the league's future success will hinge on its capacity to maintain equilibrium. Her willingness to share the limelight and highlight the efforts of others says volumes about her character. The league's long-term development and reputation will depend on finding a way to honor its top players while keeping an eye on the collaboration and variety of skills that make it really special.